He didn't flex. He didn't interrupt. He didn't even seem to care if anyone noticed him. He just stood there, calm, composed, almost detached, while younger men in the room tried to out-talk each other. One was bragging about his car. Another was making jokes that tried too hard to land. But somehow, every woman's attention shifted toward him. Not because he was the loudest, not because he was the best looking. It was something deeper, something quiet, steady, and magnetic. And here's the fascinating part. In a recent study, 96% of women said this one behavior in older men was what they found most masculine. Not his money, not his looks, but something invisible that made them feel safe. So what is it exactly that older men do, almost without trying, that women can't help but notice? Let's start by clearing one thing up. Masculinity has never been about dominance or aggression. It's about energy. You can feel it in a man who doesn't rush his words, in the way he listens before he answers, in the way he chooses peace over proving a point. Older men, the ones who've lived through enough chaos, have something younger men often don't: emotional regulation. They don't need to win every argument. They don't crumble under rejection. And that energy, that quiet control, is what women instinctively label as masculine. Because beneath all our modern dating trends, there's still a biological blueprint running the show. And it whispers one thing to women: the man who can stay calm under pressure can protect you from the world. That's the unspoken equation most people never realize they're reacting to. Think about it. When a man gets angry easily, raises his voice, or tries to dominate a room, it doesn't feel like strength. It feels like insecurity wearing armor. But when a man stays still, when his presence feels unshakable, something in a woman's nervous system responds instantly. It's primal. It's thousands of years of biology recognizing safety. Older men have usually lived through their own storms. They've lost, failed, rebuilt. They've learned that control doesn't come from power. It comes from peace. Psychologically, this connects to a mature prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that regulates emotion and decision-making. It's why older men don't chase chaos. They neutralize it. And that calm energy signals dominance without aggression. Because real masculinity isn't about how much space you take up. It's about how centered you remain when everything else around you shakes. Women feel that difference before they can even describe it. Let's put it side by side. Younger men often lead with performance, trying to prove they're confident, capable, or successful. It's not their fault. Society teaches them to equate masculinity with constant action. So they chase, they show off, they talk louder. But here's the irony. The more they try to be masculine, the less they feel masculine. Older men, they've already played that game. They don't perform, they exist. They've learned that quiet doesn't mean weak. It means selective. The younger man fills silence with stories. The older man lets silence speak for him. That's why his energy feels magnetic. He's not competing. He's observing. He doesn't seek validation. He offers presence. And whether she realizes it consciously or not, every woman senses the same thing. This man won't lose himself trying to impress anyone. That's power in its purest form. But here's what most people overlook. Women aren't just attracted to the calmness. They're drawn to how it makes them feel. When a man stays grounded, her nervous system mirrors his. Her anxiety softens. Her breath slows. Without realizing it, her body relaxes in his presence. That's not about romance. That's neurobiology. Our mirror neurons sync with the emotional tone around us. So when a woman senses a man's calm confidence, her subconscious reads it as safe. And that's the twist. The most masculine thing an older man does isn't something he does at all. It's what he stops doing. He stops proving. He stops reacting. He stops performing for approval. And that absence, that refusal to chase, creates the most powerful attraction there is, effortless authority. Because nothing says, "I'm in control," louder than a man who doesn't need to say it. If you're a man watching this, pay attention. Every time you stay composed in conflict, she notices. Every time you choose silence over ego, she feels it. Every time you respond instead of react, you become unforgettable. It's not about being older in years. It's about being older in energy. And if you're a woman watching this, you already know that feeling. The way your body softens when a man doesn't rush to fix, argue, or prove. That deep exhale that says, "I'm safe here." That's the invisible exchange happening beneath every conversation, every glance, every first date. It's not love at first sight. It's nervous system recognition. So maybe the real question isn't, why do women love older men? It's, why do we crave the energy of a man who's already mastered himself? Because that's what masculinity really is, mastery of the self. Let's break this down even deeper. Masculinity in its healthiest form is containment energy. It's the ability to hold space for chaos without becoming it. Older men embody this naturally because life has trained them to stay grounded. They've learned that emotions are weather, not identity. They can witness intensity without being pulled into it. In psychology, this is known as emotional regulation and secure attachment. Women with intuitive sensitivity can feel it immediately. He doesn't withdraw when things get heavy. He anchors. That's the real alpha. Not dominance, but direction. He leads not by controlling others, but by controlling his state. And that, right there, is why the same words, tone, or even silence feel different coming from an older man, because behind them is experience, earned calm. Masculinity isn't built in the gym. It's built in the moments you learn to sit still in discomfort and not lose your center. So what's the most masculine thing older men do naturally? They remain unmoved, not in apathy, but in inner peace. They've mastered the art of stillness in a world addicted to reaction. That stillness is magnetic. It tells every woman in the room, I'm not here to control you. I'm here to contain the moment. And that is the kind of presence you can't fake. It's the kind of energy that doesn't shout. It radiates. So maybe the real lesson isn't to become older. It's to become grounded, to be the calm in the storm. Because when you do, you'll understand why 96% of women aren't chasing money, muscles, or charm. They're responding to something deeper, something ancient, the quiet power of a man who has finally learned to simply be.